Number 3, we must have a plan for prayer. In other words, you go into a conversation with a plan. I very rarely go into important conversations without any idea of what to say.
Yeah, that's good. That's true. Yeah.
You see, when we don't have a plan, we're more likely to roam from checkbox to checkbox and reciting prayers without engaging our heart at all.
Wow.
That's good.
Prayer becomes, okay, I need this, this, and this, and I'm good. Memorizing prayers is not wrong or bad.
Right.
But when we memorize prayers and we just begin to recite them every morning I wake up and I say the same prayer. What happens is we start to disengage our heart.
Right. Wow. Yeah.
And having a plan will keep you from this mindless stream of rambling your thoughts. And it will give you more time to connect with the Father. It will give you more time for the Father to speak to you. And it will give you more time for you and your Heavenly Father to get on the same page and focus on what matters most. And focus on what truly is important. We must have a plan. And so here's an example. I would never walk into my father's room while he was studying and do this and be like, hey, Dad, I'm going to need the car, $100, and new shorts. And then be like, and thank you very much, and leave. I would never do that. I would never go to one of my friends and be like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Okay, here's a list of things I want you to do for me. So when you complete those, just get back to me, and then I'll talk to you again. We don't treat our parents or our friends like that, so why do we think it's okay to treat our Heavenly Father like that? Why do we think it's okay to take the creator of the universe and limit him down to this spiritual drive-through type experience?
Right. Wow.
So often we get to this place where we don't know how. I don't know how. I can relate to the experience of being like, I don't know what to pray right now.
Right.
I don't know what to say. Because I don't want to do that to my Heavenly Father. I don't want to limit what prayer can do. But so often, I get to this place where I just don't know what to say. And the disciples can relate to that experience. Jesus' disciples can relate to that experience because think about how they've grown up. Most likely, most of the disciples were just taught traditional Jewish prayers and that they would then recite them. But when they saw Jesus praying, they noticed something different than about what they were doing. When Jesus prayed, there was something different. And the disciples are like, what's on you? And so the disciples ask him this question in Luke 11, verses 1 through 4. It says, once Jesus was in a certain place praying. As he finished, one of his disciples came to him and said, Lord, teach us to pray, just as John taught his disciples. And Jesus said, this is how you should pray. And then Jesus continues to go on and recite the Lord's Prayer to them. And what Jesus was doing here is he was not necessarily giving them a prayer to recite, but he was giving them an outline. He was giving them an outline to build their prayer life on. So weeks 2 and 3, the tabernacle prayer and the Jabez prayer are outlines for prayer. And that's why this is so important. This will give you a plan to pray. This has plans to pray. So when you're like, Jesus, teach us how to pray, this will help you. So I so highly encourage you, grab one of these. Because we must have a plan. So don't just pray first. plan to pray first.